Okay, welcome again to another episode of Real Hustlers Wildlife Edition. This evening I'm going to show you the basic first steps of preparing it for a butt well. As you can see, I have my 4-inch 80 schedule all prepared. Now this is a very important step that people tend to take for granted, but not doing this correctly can hamper your well in all different sort of ways. So here's what they call the landing. So I have my landing approximately 1/8 thick. Now you need that landing there so when you're rooting you won't burn away the edges, causing like undercuts inside the pipe. That's just my preference. Every different well have a different preference. Some like it sharp with call it a knife edge, but I like mine with a little landing, just so it can take the fire just enough. It won't burn away and open my keyhole too big. Okay. So as I said, this is a very important part in producing a quality well. Preparation, you take your time and prepare, and you will see for yourself a big difference this makes, rather than just rushing and doing all kind of funny stuff. Okay, so I'll get this bad boy here tacked up, then I'll show you the next step as we go forward. Okay. Okay, I got my butt weld all tacked up. There's my cap. So, if you are a beginner, this is just my take on how you go about to do this weld. So, take a look at my spacing. It's just about 3 seconds. I like my spacing a bit tight where I don't have to do much work whipping, as they say. I can just more or less drag my rod slowly and produce a good weld. So, if you are beginners watching this, here's what you need to do. Here's how you go about doing this. Now I'm not going to start from below because my spool is not in a fixed position, so I'll be more or less cheating. But it does show you the basic principles and how you go about to root, to produce a good root in a butt weld. So I have my 6011 here. So here's what we need to do. So here what I do. We're gonna keep this rod as far in as possible. But before I go to that, I have my welder set on about 82 amps. That's because it's an 80 schedule pipe. It's a bit thicker, so I can take a little more amperage. Yeah. But as you go along, you can adjust the suit. This pipe is a 80 schedule 4-inch, so the walls are a bit thick, so you're going to need a bit of fire to burn through. So yes, as I was saying, you want to keep this rod inside for as far down as possible. While you travel, you want to make sure that all the flame is inside the pipe. You don't want to see those flames coming back out of the pipe, because there you know that either you're too high off or your space is closing up, and you will need to either open with a grinder or raise the amperage to create that keyhole. And when I say keyhole, I mean that when you strike and you burn through, between the both landings will form a circular opening, which is called a keyhole. You want to keep that keyhole, I will say, the size of the rod. Mine is, it's a 1/8 rod, so I like that keyhole about 1/8 or slightly bigger. But you want to maintain that, and by doing that, you have to have your amperage set correctly. If it's opening too wide, that either tells you that your amperage is a little bit too high for the size of pipe you are using, you are routing. So you just need to take it down a notch until you find that proper keyhole. The next thing that some of us take for granted as well is the angle that you're routing the pipe at. Now I like to have my angle slightly facing upwards just slight, not too much, or at a 90. It depends on what part of the pipe you are on. Now, as you go along, your angle constantly change. So thereby, you need to bend your elbows to find that angle, find the shape of the pipe. But I normally roll my elbow to the shape of the pipe. So I don't stay down like this and travel all the way up like this. No, that's not the right way to do it. As you progress, the angle change. When you're at the center, you'll be more or less 90 degrees. And as you go up, the angle keeps changing. And your speed of travel solely depends on, as I mentioned earlier, the size of your keyhole. If you maintain a proper keyhole, you don't need to travel such speed. Proper keyhole, make short drags, and you make sure you put enough filler metal to produce a proper route inside the pipe. So I'm going to set up. I don't have the instrument to actually show you the actual process, but I'm going to do a piece of, I'm going to go in one rod because it's almost time for me to go and kind of explain what I did. So here I go. Okay, I just burn two rods just to kill a little bit of time. So as you can see, see the consistency. It's nice and flat. My keyhole is it's a bit wide because my diameter is a bit too high. I can take it a little bit, but it's all within discretion. If you can handle the amount of amperage, all well and good. If you can't, just take another notch. That's all. If you watch center of the pipe on my keyhole, it's almost somehow, but okay. So yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to show you the full on the cap. How I do it. Everybody, as I said, this is just my point of view. Everybody might have a different way of doing it, but I'm going to show you how I do it. So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I bring you more videos on the job, more basic principles of how we're going about doing a butt weld. Yeah. So take care.